So in today's video lecture we are going to start with another experiment. In the last video lecture we studied about the Griffiths experiment. Okay, after the Griffiths experiment we also saw that three scientists, that is Avery, McCarthy and MacLeod, in the year 1944, okay, they discovered, okay, that is at the Rockefeller University, they discovered that it was the DNA, that was the genetic material that was causing the transformation principle was carried out by Frederick Griffith, but Frederick Griffith did not prove whether it was DNA or whether it was RNA. It is DNA that was shown by Avery, McCarthy and MacLeod, and that also we have studied in the last video lecture. Today what we are going to study a new experiment that is called as Hershey and Chase experiment. Okay, they proved that the genetic material is DNA and the genetic material is not the protein, right? So how did they carry out this experiment? That is, the picture is in front of you. I will also explain that with the whiteboard now. Okay, now what they show was Hershey and Chase. It was Alfred Hershey and Martha Chase, and in the year 1952 they proved that the DNA is genetic material and proteins are not the genetic material. Okay, what they used was a bacteriophage. These structures that we can see here, okay, this structure that we can see here, it is a bacteriophage. What is a bacteriophage? Bacteriophage are basically the viruses. Okay, what are bacteriophages? They are the viruses that infect the bacteria. Those are called as a bacteriophages. Okay, this is the head of the bacteriophage. Okay, the head of the bacteriophage is made up of proteins. Okay, please remember this. The head of the bacteriophage is made up of proteins, and inside the head, so here also there is proteins. The head is made up of proteins. Proteins means, when it is a protein, it means it is made up of amino acids. Okay, and we all know that there are some amino acids in whose R chain, okay, R chain में क्या present होता है? Sulfur present होता है. Okay, so here they are going to exploit the sulfur, the radio labeled radioactive sulfur. Okay, that we will see. And here inside the head region, what is present? Inside the head region, the viral nucleic acid is present, that is the DNA is present. Here also the DNA is present. समझ में आ रही है बात? What are they going to use? They are going to use bacteriophages. What are bacteriophages? They are the viruses which are going to infect the bacterial cells. Okay, now let us see what they did in the experiments. I will show it on the whiteboard, and later on again we will come back to the same picture here. Okay, now let us start Hershey and Chase experiment. Okay, now what they did was they took the Petri plates, okay, in the lab, and on these Petri plates they added a nutrient media. Okay, what they added? They added the nutrient media, and in this nutrient media they grew the viruses. They grew the viruses in the presence of a isotope of phosphorus, that is P32. Okay, the normal isotope of the phosphorus that is present in the DNA is not P32. P32 is basically a radioactive isotope. Okay, and in another Petri plate they grew the viruses in the presence of an isotope of sulfur, that is S35. Normally the proteins they contain the isotope is S32, but now here they are growing the bacteriophages. Okay, they are growing the bacteriophages in the presence of S35. So when the head of the bacteriophage, okay, is getting formed, okay, this head is going to contain what? It is going to contain S35, because the head region is made up of proteins. So S35 sulfur is present in the protein, so the head region is going to contain S35. The head region is going to contain the radio labeled proteins. And here it is P32. Okay, the bacteriophages are grown in the presence of P32 isotope. Where is the phosphorus present? Phosphorus is not present in the proteins. Phosphorus is present in the DNA. We have studied that the nucleotide has a phosphate group, a sugar group and a nitrogenous base. तो ये फॉस्फोरस जो है P32 कहाँ पे जाएगा, कहाँ पे इंसर्ट होगा? उसके डीएनए में जाके इंसर्ट होगा. यहाँ तक समझ में आ गई बात? तो यहाँ पे जो वायरसेस ग्रो हो रहे हैं, ओके, ये वायरसेस फॉस्फोरस को क्या कर रहे हैं? कंज्यूम कर रहे हैं. कंजम्पशन के बाद वो फॉस्फेट कहाँ पे जाएगा? वो फॉस्फोरस चला जाएगा उनके डीएनए के अंदर, उनके जेनेटिक मटेरियल के अंदर. समझ में आ गई बात? तो ये भी रेडियो एक्टिवली लेबल्ड हो गया, ये भी रेडियो लेबल्ड हो गया. Now what they did was the second part, that or the second step, that they took the viruses and they started infecting the bacterial cells, E. coli cells, with these viruses. Okay, here also the E. coli cells are infected with the bacteriophages. Here also the E. coli cells are infected with the bacteriophages. Okay, नाउ इन्फेक्शन होना मतलब क्या? बैक्टीरिया कोई इन्फेक्ट हो रहा है मतलब क्या है? सपोज दिस इज अ बैक्टीरियल सेल, वायरस आके यहाँ पे उस बैक्टीरिया के ऊपर आके अटैच हो जाता है. ओके, विद द हेल्प ऑफ द प्रोटीन्स और विद द हेल्प ऑफ द some of the structure. When it holds the bacterial cell, it starts inserting its genetic material into the cell. Okay, and when that genetic material DNA enters inside the bacterial cell, the DNA or the genetic material of the virus becomes a part of the genetic material of the bacteria also. बैक्टीरिया के डीएनए का पार्ट बन जाएगा वायरस का जो डीएनए उसने इंसर्ट किया है वो, और बाकी का जो पार्ट है वायरस का वो बाहर की तरफ ही रह जाएगा. ओके, तो ये है उसके पीछे का लॉजिक. नाउ what the third step was done was, third step was centrifugation. Okay, centrifuge मतलब क्या? There is a centrifuge machine. Okay, we have to take the E. coli cells from this Petri plate and we have to put into the centrifuge tubes and we have to run the centrifuge machine. Centrifuge machine जब run होती है, when it runs, the tubes they are elevated and they start rotating at a particular speed. Okay, which is called as the revolution per minute. Okay, it can be 1000 revolution per minute, it can be 2000 revolution per minute according to that. So when the revolution is taking place, when these bottles are continuously moving, what happens is that whatever the content is present inside these tubes, they start getting separated from each other on the basis of their density. The higher density materials they come at the bottom. Okay, the intermediate density material they come in the middle, and the very light density materials they come on the surface. Okay, so on their density, okay, depending upon the density, these materials get isolated from one another as they are continuously rotating or revolving. Okay, so this has happened. What they saw is in the picture. यहाँ तक समझ में आ गई बात? What has they done? Hershey and Chase model. They grew the bacteriophages in the presence of P32 and also they grew the bacteriophages in the presence of S35. P32 is a radioactive isotope of phosphorus, S35 is a radioactive isotope of sulfur. Okay, so when the bacteriophages were grown, these bacteriophages were taken and E. coli cells were infected. Okay, here also the E. coli cells were infected. After infection, these E. coli cells and a solution was formed. Here also the solution was formed and it was put forth in the centrifuge tubes. The centrifugation took place. When the centrifugation has taken place, what has happened is that the materials in the centrifuge tube, they have got separated on the basis of the density. Okay, now bacterial cells are very heavy, so they will come at the bottom. Okay, तो वायरस के भी पार्टिकल्स उसमें थे, राइट? और वहाँ पे उन्होंने ब्लेंडिंग भी किया था। तो ब्लेंडर की वजह से, ब्लेंडिंग के प्रोसेस की वजह से और सेंट्रीफ्यूज की वजह से जो वायरस के पार्टिकल्स जो बैक्टीरिया सेल के ऊपर अटैच हुए थे, दे ऑल्सो गॉट सेपरेटेड, एंड एज दे गॉट सेपरेटेड दे आर लाइटर in density, so they are separated from the bacterial cells, and as they are lighter they will form their own separate region above or in the intermediate region of the tube. Okay, so this has happened. Now what they saw was that I will show you in the picture. Okay, see here what we can see in the picture now is that DNA is present. Okay, the bacterial cell is present. After centrifugation there is no sulfur in the cells. Okay, and after centrifugation there is phosphorus that is present inside the cells. इसका मतलब क्या है? phosphorus जो है सेल के अंदर है। phosphorus कहाँ पे हम लोगों ने ऐड किया, कहाँ पे प्रेजेंट होता है? DNA में प्रेजेंट होता है। तो when they checked the tube, what they found was okay, when they checked the tube, okay, both the tubes after centrifugation and after blending was in one tube. Okay, in one tube the phosphorus was present and the cells were showing radioactivity. Okay, and in one test tube the sulfur जहाँ पे उन्होंने ऐड किया था बैक्टीरियोफाजस में, वो सल्फर तो बैक्टीरियल सेल्स के अंदर दिखाई नहीं दे रहा था। सल्फर जो है बैक्टीरियल सेल्स के बाहर कहीं पे दूसरी जगह पे दिखाई दे रहा था इन द ट्यूब, दैट इज अ सेंट्रीफ्यूज ट्यूब। इसका मतलब ये है कि जो कुछ भी इन्फेक्शन हो रहा है, इन्फेक्शन किसकी वजह से हो रहा है? डीएनए की वजह से हो रहा है। और इन्फेक्शन जो है वो प्रोटीन्स की वजह से नहीं हो रहा है, बिकॉज डीएनए जो है बैक्टीरियल सेल के अंदर प्रेजेंट था, एंड दिस वाज कॉजिंग इन्फेक्शन, दिस वाज कॉजिंग लाइसिस ऑफ द बैक्टीरियल सेल. Okay, and sulfur was not causing any infection. Sulfur was not inserted only inside the bacterial cell. समझ में आ रही है बात? So in this way Hershey and Chase they proved that by their experiment that DNA is the genetic material. Okay, so यहाँ पे देखिए, now we will study this whole picture. This is a bacteriophage, this is also a bacteriophage. This bacteriophage has been सल्फर लेबल्ड प्रोटीन कैप्सूल, प्रोटीन का जो कैप्सूल है उसमें क्या प्रेजेंट है? S35. यहाँ पे डीएनए के अंदर क्या प्रेजेंट है? P32 प्रेजेंट है। तो बैक्टीरियोफाज जो है उसने तो इन्फेक्शन यहाँ पे भी करना है, यहाँ पे भी करना है। तो यहाँ पे भी उसने इन्फेक्शन के टाइम पे डीएनए को इंसर्ट कर दिया, यहाँ पे भी उसने डीएनए को इंसर्ट कर दिया। लेकिन व्हेन द डीएनए वाज गेटिंग इंसर्टेड, व्हाट केम इनसाइड? P32 बिकॉज इट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ डीएनए. ओके, यहाँ पे S35 कहाँ पे बच गया? बाहर के साइड पे ही बच गया। तो यहाँ पे भी S35 होगा. ओके, यहाँ पे भी P32 होगा, यहाँ पे भी P32 होगा, लेकिन S35 तो हमें यहाँ पे दिख रहा है बाहर. ओके, तो यहाँ पे देखिए, यहाँ पे ब्लेंडिंग किया. ब्लेंडिंग मतलब so that the virus particles should get separated from the bacterial cells. ब्लेंडिंग किया. ब्लेंडिंग करने के बाद हम लोगों ने सेंट्रीफ्यूजेशन किया. सेंट्रीफ्यूज करने के बाद हमें क्या दिखाई दिया? एक टेस्ट ट्यूब में हमें दिखाई दिया कि S35 तो बैक्टीरियल सेल के अंदर है नहीं, और दूसरे ट्यूब में हमें दिखाई दिया कि फॉस्फोरस दैट इज P32 इज प्रेजेंट इनसाइड द सेल. तो इन्फेक्शन किसकी वजह से कॉज हो रहा है? डीएनए की वजह से कॉज हो रहा है. और इन्फेक्शन किसकी वजह से कॉज नहीं हो रहा है? प्रोटीन्स की वजह से कॉज नहीं हो रहा है. एंड दैट्स व्हाई डीएनए वाज प्रूव्ड टू बी द जेनेटिक मटेरियल. समझ में आई बात? सो दिस इज अबाउट द हर्शी एंड चेज एक्सपेरिमेंट. सो वी हैव सक्सेसफुली explained, I have explained about the Hershey and Chase experiment. If you still have any points, you can ask me later on. Okay, so this is the next slide, that is a prokaryote nucleoid. Okay, तो ये prokaryote nucleoid है क्या? Okay, what is a prokaryote nucleoid? When we are studying about the nucleoid, it means we have started a point of DNA packaging. We have to study DNA packaging in prokaryotes, and we also are going to discuss about DNA packaging in eukaryotes. Okay, both. First we will discuss about the prokaryotes, then we will discuss about the eukaryotes. Okay, now see, a E. coli cell, that is the Escherichia coli cell, normally, okay, the cell size is around 2 to 3 micron. कितना साइज है उसका? 2 to 3 माइक्रोन, वेरी वेरी स्मॉल सेल. ओके, एंड वी नो दैट इन द प्रोकैरियोटिक सेल्स देयर इज नो न्यूक्लियस. ओके, बिकॉज यूकैरियोटिक सेल्स के बारे में जब हम लोग डिस्कस करते हैं, न्यूक्लियस एक ऑर्गेनल प्रेजेंट होता है और न्यूक्लियस के अंदर जो है हमारे क्रोमोसोम्स और डीएनए और जेनेटिक मटेरियल प्रेजेंट होता है. लेकिन बैक्टीरियल सेल के अंदर जो है वो न्यूक्लियस तो है नहीं. ओके, यहाँ पे तो न्यूक्लियोलस भी नहीं है. ओके, तो जो डीएनए मटेरियल है वो कैसा है? जेनेटिक मटेरियल उनका, जेनेटिक मटेरियल इज नेकेड. इट डज नॉट हैव एनी न्यूक्लियर मेम्ब्रेन, इट डज नॉट हैव एनी एनवलप दैट इज एनक्लोजिंग द डीएनए. ओके, सो न्यूक्लियोइड है क्या बेसिकली? व्हाट इज अ न्यूक्लियोइड? Okay, what is a nucleoid? Nucleoid is small circular folded and naked ring of DNA. Okay, and the total length of this nucleoid along with the perimeter is 1100 micron. Okay, and it contains around 4.6 million base pairs of the DNA. ओके, न्यूक्लियोइड जो है इट इज़ फिटेड इन अ सेल एंड हार्डली इट इज़ 2 to 3 माइक्रोन लॉन्ग. तो देखिए, न्यूक्लियोइड नॉर्मली उसका लेंथ क्या है? 1100 माइक्रोन. ओके, हाउ मेनी base pair it contains? 4.6 million base pairs. But this nucleoid, that is the chromosome and the DNA of the bacteria, is coiled, is very very coiled, and it is made so small that after coiling it becomes just 2 to 3 micro long. Okay, and the negatively charged DNA, it becomes circular DNA after coiling. So after coiling of this DNA of the nucleoid, it becomes circular and it is double stranded DNA that is present inside the bacterial cell. तो यहाँ पे जो process हो रहा है, this is basically the packaging, the DNA packaging. And this DNA packaging, why does it happens? It happens because of coiling of the DNA. किसकी वजह से होता है? It happens because of coiling of the DNA. And it becomes circular, and also it is reduced to around 30 micrometers in diameters. 30 micrometers in diameters, इतना reduce किया जाता है. Okay, and this is because of the folding and the looping. यहाँ पे हम लोग जो देख रहे हैं, these are the loops which are getting formed. Okay, folding होता है, folding तो ऐसे हो रहा है, and during folding the loops are also getting formed. So this, because of this folding and because of this looping, the nucleoid is reduced to such a size that it becomes 30 micrometer in diameter. Okay, then यहाँ पे you can see that there are almost 40 to 50 domains which are formed. Now what are domains? Each fold, okay, of the nucleotide or of the DNA or of the chromosome of the bacteria is called as a domain. So 40 to 50 domains are formed. Formations of loops are continuously taking place, and they are happening because of RNA connectors. कौन यहाँ पे involved है? There are these RNA connectors that are involved, which are involved in the formation of the domains, and these domains are 40 to 50 domains which are getting formed. Further, it is reduced to 2 micron because it is highly coiled, and this coiling is called as a super coiling of the DNA. What it is called as? It is coiling. This coiling is called as a super coiling of the DNA, and it is assisted by positively charged histone like proteins. Okay, they are assisted by positively charged histone like proteins. Okay, and they are also assisted by an enzyme which is called as DNA gyrase enzyme, and also there is another enzyme which is called as DNA topoisomerase 1 enzyme. Okay, so this causes the supercoiling of the DNA of the prokaryotes. So what we have discussed here is about the DNA packaging in the prokaryotes. Why the DNA packaging is required? DNA packaging is required because a very long DNA molecule has to be managed inside a very small E. coli cell. So if this long DNA molecule has to be uh, managed inside a small cell, what is required is continuous folding and looping of the DNA is required. Okay, so because there is no nucleus that is present in E. coli cell, there is no nucleolus that is present in the E. coli cell. What is a nucleoid? Nucleoid is a circular naked structure and a very long fiber like structure of the chromosome which contains the genetic material. It is around 1100 micron. Okay, and it contains 4.6 million बेस पेयर्स. तो इतने बड़े डीएनए को इतने छोटे से सेल के अंदर बिठाना है तो क्या होना चाहिए? कंटिन्यूसली देयर शुड बी कॉइलिंग दैट शुड बी टेकिंग प्लेस, एंड व्हेन द कॉइलिंग्स आर टेकिंग प्लेस, these structures which are formed, they are called as the loops. Okay, 40 to 50 domains are formed, and these domains are formed by the structures that are involved. Those are called as, or the factors that are involved, they are called as the RNA connectors. Okay, further the nucleoid is coiled around 2 micron, so small it has become. Okay, this is called as a supercoiling, and during the time of supercoiling there are some proteins which are called as positive. Why they are called as positive? Because they have a positive charge on them. They are the histone like proteins in the prokaryotes. Okay, they are the histone like proteins. In the eukaryotes there are the histone proteins. There is an enzyme that is called as DNA gyrase and another enzyme that is called as DNA topoisomerase, because of which there is a continuous the folding and looping of the DNA takes place. Now this is about the folding and looping and packaging of the DNA in the prokaryotes. Nextly we are going to study about the packaging of DNA helix in the eukaryotes. Okay, so this is what is looks like the packaging of the DNA helix in the eukaryotes. Now here you have to remember that in eukaryotes there are these proteins which are called as a histone proteins that are involved in packaging of the DNA. Okay, eukaryotic DNA, prokaryotic DNA is a double stranded structure. Okay, double strands because there are two strands of the DNA that are involved, that we will study in the Watson and Crick model. Okay, further, but just we are studying the basic thing of the DNA helix. In the textbook of okay, we can see here some things that are given very properly. This is about the bacterial DNA coiling. See here, we can see this is a 350 micron DNA. Okay, circular unfolded chromosome it is. This आफ्टर कॉइलिंग. ओके, ह्याचंच आपण काय करतो कॉइलिंग केल्यामुळं द साईज गोज ऑन रिड्युसिंग. ओके, अँड द RNA connectors are involved over here. Folded chromosome actually becomes 40 to 50 loops. I have also told you that there are 40 to 50 loops where the RNA connectors are involved over here. Further again what happens is that because of more supercoiling here, see, you can see one coil, and around this coil again there are many coils which are present. Okay, there is one coil here, and around this again there are many coils that are present over here. So this is called as a supercoiling that is taking place, and the size and again reduced to 2 micron only. Okay, supercoiled folded chromosome, and then each loop is independently supercoiled. This each loop is independently supercoiled here, and it is nicked here, and again many coils are formed. So this is partial DNase digestion, partial RNase digestion that is shown here. This is not that important that we have to remember, but these foldings, the sizes you have to remember. Circular unfolded chromosome is 350 micron. When the coiling has taken place, there are 40 to 50 domains, which reduces its size to 30 micron. And later on, because of supercoiling, the size reduces to 2 micron, and because of which this long DNA molecule can fit inside the small prokaryotic cell. Okay, so this is about the prokaryotic DNA packaging. Let's start with the packaging in the eukaryotes. Here we can see a diagram which is called as a nucleosome, a very important diagram from the point of view of state board examination and the NEET examination, competitive exams and everything. Now, what is an octamer? What are the histone proteins? What is a nucleosome? This I have shortly explained you in the chapter when we were studying about the genetics, that is principles of inheritance and variation. Okay, so what are these histone proteins that we have to understand? Histone proteins are basically octamer. The protein is a octamer. Okay, and they form the chromatin thread like structures. When we see the chromosomes under the electron microscope, we can see these kind of structures. What is this basically? This looks like beads on a string like structure. Okay, beads on a string. There is a string and there are these beads that are present on the string like structure. So these beads, they are basically the histone proteins that are present. Histone proteins are formed of H2A, H2A, H2B, H2B, H3, H3, H4, H4. These are basically the protein units that are forming the octamer. 2, 4, 6, 8. There is one more protein that is present only in single form, that is H1 protein that we can see here, histone 1. Okay, and to these protein octamer structure, the charge that is given on these proteins is positive charge. Now, why the positive charge is present? It is because of the amino acids that are present in the side chain, the charge that is present in the side chain of the amino acids. Amino acids are forming the proteins here. These amino acid side chain contains the positive charge. The amino acids like lysine and the amino acids like arginine. Okay, because of these two amino acids, the proteins are positively charged, and the DNA which is coiling around this is negatively charged. Why the DNA is negatively charged? Because in the backbone of the DNA there is a phosphate group that is present, which gives acidic nature to the DNA. So positive and negative both are going to attract one another, and that's why around the positively charged histone proteins, the negatively charged DNA is going to coil around. Okay, and when it coils around, the coiling is 1 by 3/4 turn. Okay, 1 means there is a complete 1 round, and the second round that is taking place, it is 3 by 4 times twisted. Okay, and then there is one DNA that is linking one nucleosome to the second nucleosome. Okay, when the DNA coils and comes outside, it comes in contact with the linker DNA. When it enters, it is also in when it enters, it is in contact with the histone protein. When it is coming outside, it is also in contact with the histone proteins. And when this DNA travels from one nucleosome to the second nucleosome, न्यूक्लियोसोम समझ में आ गई क्या बात है? इट इज अ हिस्टोन प्रोटीन एंड द डीएनए टुगेदर इज कॉल्ड एज अ न्यूक्लियोसोम. दो न्यूक्लियोसोम के बीच में जो डीएनए प्रेजेंट है, दैट डीएनए इज कॉल्ड एज लिंकर डीएनए. समझ में आ रही है बात? दैट डीएनए इज कॉल्ड एज अ लिंकर डीएनए. तो क्वेश्चन माइट बी आस्क्ड कि व्हाट इज अ लिंकर डीएनए. So this is about the DNA packaging, some points what we have discovered. One nucleosome. Okay, let's go to the whiteboard and write some theory of this. Let us learn some theory of the nucleosome. तो nucleosome क्या है? What is nucleosome? We have understood. Nucleosome is DNA plus the histone proteins. That is called as a nucleosome. Nucleosome contains the histone proteins, and how many subunits are present? There are 8 subunits that are present, and that's why it is called as a octamer. Okay, there is one unpaired protein that is called as a H1 protein. Okay, and there is one form of DNA which is called as a linker DNA, which links one nucleosome to the second nucleosome. So this is called as the linker DNA. Okay, now one nucleosome has how many base pair long DNA? It has 200 base pair long DNA helix. Okay, DNA that we have to remember. Now 146 base pair, okay, segments are in the nucleosome. Okay, and the remaining are present in the form of a linker DNA. It looks like, I have told you what it looks like. It looks like a bead on string type of a structure when we see them under the electron microscope. Under electron microscope. Okay, DNA helix of the 200 base pair wraps around the histone octamer. Okay, जेव्हा ते histone octamer ला wrap करत असतं in this form, how much turn it forms? It forms 3/4 turn. Okay, and it wraps around the nucleosome. 6 nucleosome coiled to form a solenoid model. आता हा एक प्रश्न आहे आपल्याला की what is a solenoid model or what is a solenoid structure. Okay, one nucleosome, second nucleosome, third nucleosome, fourth nucleosome, fifth nucleosome, and the sixth nucleosome. This structure, when it is formed, it is called as a solenoid structure of the nucleosomes. I have also shown here what is a solenoid structure. This diagram that you can see here, the picture, okay, this one, this is the solenoid structure of the nucleosome. Can you see? This is the solenoid structure of the nucleosome. So this is a single solenoid structure, one turn of solenoid. And here on the upper side we can see bead on a string conformation. Can you see? This one is the linker DNA that we can see here. Okay, these are the histone proteins, and this whole length is 200 base pair long. Okay, among these 200 base pairs, how many base pairs are present in the nucleosome? 146 base pairs are present in the nucleosome, and around 8 to 18 the base pairs are present in the linker DNA molecule. Okay, now when we talk about the solenoid structure, this solenoid structure looks like a telephone wire. Okay, telephone wire, if you see, it looks like this. पुराने ज़माने के जो टेलीफोन वायर्स थे वो ऐसे दिखते थे. So this solenoid model, it looks like a telephone wire which is coiling. Okay, chromatin is packed to form loop structure which are called as a chromatin fibers. We can see here, these are basically the chromatin which is packed to form the loop, and which is called as a chromatin fiber. तो इसको हम क्या बोलेंगे? we are going to call this as a chromatin fiber. Chromatin fiber further coils around and condense at the metaphase stage. मेटाफेज स्टेज में हमें पता है कि क्रोमोसोम जो है वो बहुत कंडेंस्ड फॉर्म में होते हैं. तो ये कंडेंसेशन किसकी वजह से हो रहा है? दिस कंडेंसेशन इज बिकॉज द क्रोमेटिन फाइबर्स आर कंडेंसिंग very very much during the time of metaphase. Metaphase is a stage during the cell division. It might be mitosis or it might be the meiosis. Okay, so this is one thing. Chromatin fiber जो है कब ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा condensed होते हैं? They are more condensed during the time of metaphase of the cell division. Okay, at higher levels, okay, packaging of chromatin needs additional proteins which are called as the histone proteins, and they are also called as non-histone proteins. There are two types of proteins. One are called as the histone proteins and the second one are called as the non-histone proteins. In prokaryotes, what we studied? In prokaryotes, we studied histone-like proteins, but in eukaryotes, for further packaging, histone proteins are there, but along with histone proteins, which are the chromosomal proteins, there are non-histone chromosomal proteins. Okay, so these two proteins are basically involved in the packaging of the DNA in the eukaryotes. So let us go to the board now and let us again see some of the theory behind this. Okay, what are the non-histone chromosomal proteins? What are these non-histone chromosomal proteins? First point is that they are the additional proteins that are involved. What are they? They are the additional proteins. Second point is that they contribute for the packaging of chromatin at higher levels. Okay, higher levels से जेव्हा आपण DNA packaging असतं, at that time the non-histone chromosomal proteins are required. Okay, so after this we will study a point that is called as heterochromatin. And we will see another point which is called as eurochromatin. So what is basically heterochromatin? Okay, now please remember this name. It was proposed by scientist Hitz. Okay, heterochromatin was proposed by scientist Hitz. Okay, when the eukaryotic chromosome or chromonema, that is the DNA and the histone proteins, they are condensed during the interphase. We all know what is an interphase and early prophase. Early prophase, when the cell division has begun, and when there is a phase that is early prophase, the DNA or the chromonema is highly condensed. In interphase also it is highly condensed. So this highly condensed nature of the nucleosome is called as a heterochromatin, which was proposed by scientist Hitz. Okay, this is called as a heterochromatin. Now these heterochromatins are basically localized in which regions? वो कौन से regions में present होते हैं? They are present in the regions which are near to centromere, okay, or to the telomere, okay, of a chromosome. What is a centromere? Okay, this is a chromatid arm, this is also chromatid arm, and this is a centromere. तो centromere के पास वाला जो DNA होता है वो जो है वो highly condensed DNA होता है, highly packaged DNA होता है, which is called as a heterochromatin. Or telomeres. Telomere means the end of the chromatin threads, which are called as the telomeres. Telomeres means the last part of the chromosome, that is called as the telomere. There also the heterochromatins are present. Okay, these heterochromatin are mostly inactive. Why they are mostly inactive? Mostly inactive because if this is a nucleosome and the DNA is very tightly wound, when the DNA is tightly wound, it cannot be used for, first thing is replication process. डीएनए के अगर कॉपीज तैयार करने हैं तो उसके लिए ये टाइट वाउंड वाला डीएनए यूज करने को नहीं आएगा. सेकेंड इज द ट्रांसक्रिप्शन प्रोसेस. अगर एमआरएनए तैयार करना है डीएनए से, एट दैट टाइम ऑल्सो दिस डीएनए कैनॉट बी यूज. ओके, सो दैट्स वाई इट इज कॉल्ड it is inactive for replication, and it is called transcriptionally inactive part of DNA, or transcriptionally inactive DNA. But when we stain this, okay, कोई एक स्टेन लेके हम लोगों ने अगर ऐसे क्रोमोसोम को स्टेन किया, तो जहाँ पे भी हेटेरोक्रोमैटिन वाला रीजन है क्रोमोसोम के ऊपर, वो हेटेरोक्रोमैटिन वाला रीजन जो है वो डार्क स्टेन ले लेता है. मतलब बहुत स्टेन वहाँ पे एब्जॉर्ब कर लिया जाता है. द स्टेन इज रिटन ओवर हियर, सो इट इज डार्कली स्टेन्ड. Okay, that is the first question, and it contains 2 to 3 times more DNA. समझ में आ रही है बात? तो हेटेरोक्रोमैटिन में 2 से 3 गुना ज़्यादा डीएनए प्रेजेंट होता है जब हम लोग उसको स्टेन करते हैं. ओके, बाय the stains which are used for staining the nucleic acid, like acetocarmine. Okay, acetocarmine is a stain which is used to stain the nucleic acids and the chromosomes. At that time they are darkly stained. It is transcriptionally inactive, and it cannot also be used for the process of replication. It is mostly inactive. And in which regions they are present in more number? In near centromere and near telomere. And when, in which phase of the cell division they are seen mostly heterochromatin? In interphase and in the early prophase. So this is about the heterochromatin. What about the euchromatin? Okay, let us see about the euchromatin. These are the regions of chromonema of a non-condensed state. Non-condensed मतलब जहाँ पे कंडेंसेशन बहुत कम है. ओके, एंड व्हेन दे स्टेन वेरी लाइट. ओके, दे स्टेन वेरी लाइट because they do not take up most of the stain. Okay, second is they are very active. Very active means transcriptionally they are ready. We can use this DNA to carry out the process of transcription, and also the replication is fast in these regions. तो replication हो रहा है, it is very active, and transcriptionally also it is very active. When we stain it, the stain, it takes a very less stain, and that's why it stains very light, and it is a non-condensed part of the DNA. So here we can see, here there are 2 different parts of the nucleosomes that we can see. One that we can see is the heterochromatin. Second that we can see is eurochromatin. Heterochromatin is tightly wound, not readily available for replication and transcription. Euchromatin is readily available for transcription and translation process. So this is about the DNA packaging and about the DNA. What are histone proteins? How does the packaging takes place in prokaryotes and the eukaryotes? समझ में आ रही है बात? You have to remember about the histone proteins, non-histone proteins, and everything. Nextly, what we are going to study is the Watson and Crick model, double helical DNA model, that we are going to study. Now Watson and Crick, okay, they have given a very crucial information that, and they also said that the DNA is basically a double-stranded molecule. Double-stranded means this is the first strand and this is the second strand. There are 2 strands, and these 2 strands are anti-parallel to one another. Okay, because after this point we have to start with the we have to start with another experiment, that is Messelson and Stahl's experiment, and what is replication in DNA. So for the replication of DNA, first we should know the structure of the DNA molecule. Okay, now let us see the structure of a DNA molecule. हम लोगों को पता है कि जो DNA है डबल स्ट्रैंडेड मॉलिक्यूल है, 2 स्ट्रैंड्स है, और दोनों भी स्ट्रैंड जो है वो एंटी पैरेलल है. Why they are anti parallel? Why they are not called as parallel? Okay, this is because of some of the chemical structure, on the basis of the chemical structures that are present in the DNA molecule. First thing is that there is one prime, there is polarity that is present to these molecule. Polarity क्या है? What is polarity? If one strand is from 3 prime to 5 prime, okay, the other strand is 5 prime to 3 prime. Now ये 3 prime है क्या? What is this 3 prime? This is the OH end, okay, of the ribose sugar. and ये 5 prime है क्या? What is this 5 prime? This is the 5 prime phosphate end, okay, जो 5th कार्बन के ऊपर, राइबोज शुगर के ऊपर 5th कार्बन के ऊपर जो फॉस्फेट प्रेजेंट है वो इस तरफ बाहर की तरफ है, और जो 3rd कार्बन के ऊपर जो OH ग्रुप प्रेजेंट है शुगर के ऊपर, ये इस तरफ से बाहर है. दैट्स व्हाई दिस गिव्स पोलैरिटी. 3 prime end is always OH end, 5 prime end is always a phosphate end that is present. Okay, अगर इस स्ट्रैंड का ये वाला 3 प्राइम OH एंड है तो इसी के सामने दूसरे वाले स्ट्रैंड का 3 प्राइम OH एंड नहीं आएगा, दूसरे वाले स्ट्रैंड का 5 प्राइम फॉस्फेट एंड आएगा. तो यहाँ पे फॉस्फेट है तो यहाँ पे आएगा OH एंड, एंड इन दिस वे दैट्स व्हाई दे आर कॉल्ड एज एंटी पैरेलल, बिकॉज ऑफ द पोलैरिटी, the difference in the polarity that they show. Now we know that the DNA molecule is made up of 3 things. One is a nitrogenous base, second one is a pentose sugar. In case of DNA it is deoxyribose sugar, right, and the third is a phosphate group. phosphate groups की वजह से जो है निगेटिविटी है DNA को. नाइट्रोजन बेस कहाँ पे है? ओके, नाइट्रोजन बेस ये वाले स्ट्रैंड के ऊपर भी है और उसी के ऑपोजिट स्ट्रैंड वाले ऊपर भी प्रेजेंट है. तो अगर इस स्ट्रैंड के ऊपर अगर कोई एडिनिन रेसिड्यू प्रेजेंट है, एडिनिन जो नाइट्रोजन बेस प्रेजेंट है, ऑपोजिट स्ट्रैंड के ऊपर जो है देयर शुड ऑलवेज बी थाइमिन. दिस इज कॉल्ड एज अ बेस पेयरिंग. अगर एक स्ट्रैंड के ऊपर ग्वानिन है तो उसी के दूसरे स्ट्रैंड के ऊपर होना चाहिए साइटोसिन, एंड वाइस वर्सा. ओके, सो दिस इज कॉल्ड एज अ बेस पेयर रूल. व्हाट इट इज कॉल्ड एज? इट इज कॉल्ड एज बेस रूल ऑफ बेस पेयरिंग या फिर बेस पेयरिंग रूल. एडेनिन ऑलवेज बेस पेयर्स विथ थाइमिन, ग्वानिन ऑलवेज बेस पेयर्स विथ साइटोसिन, दैट इज प्यूरिन ऑलवेज बेस पेयर्स विथ pyrimidine. एडेनिन और थाइमिन के बीच में दो हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड्स होते हैं, और ग्वानिन और साइटोसिन के बीच में हमेशा 3 हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड्स आर प्रेजेंट. ओके, नाउ कमिंग टू द नेक्स्ट पॉइंट ऑफ दिस, जो बैकबोन बना हुआ है डीएनए का, डीएनए मॉलिक्यूल का जो बैकबोन है वो कौन सा बैकबोन है? इट इज़ अ शुगर फॉस्फेट बैकबोन. बैकबोन मतलब बाहर के साइड पे जो मॉलिक्यूल प्रेजेंट है, इट इज़ ऑलवेज गोइंग टू बी फॉस्फेट. अगर यहाँ पे फॉस्फेट है तो शुगर होगा, फिर फॉस्फेट होगा, फिर शुगर, फिर फॉस्फेट, फिर शुगर, फॉस्फेट शुगर, फॉस्फेट शुगर, फॉस्फेट शुगर, फॉस्फेट एंड शुगर. ओके, ये होगा हमारा शुगर जिसका OH ग्रुप फ्री है. उसी के ऑपोजिट स्ट्रैंड पे यहाँ पे शुगर है. ओके, तो यहाँ पे होगा फॉस्फेट शुगर, फॉस्फेट शुगर, फॉस्फेट शुगर, फॉस्फेट शुगर, फॉस्फेट शुगर, फॉस्फेट शुगर एंड फॉस्फेट. समझ में आ रही है बात? तो बैकबोन जो है हमेशा किससे बना हुआ रहता है? शुगर और फॉस्फेट से जो है वो बैकबोन बना हुआ रहता है. एंड टुवर्ड्स द इनर साइड व्हाट आर प्रोजेक्टिंग इनसाइड आर द नाइट्रोजनस बेस. ओके, नाउ सी हियर, दिस इज वन स्ट्रैंड and this is the second strand. On one strand this is the 3 prime end. 3 prime end मतलब क्या होगा? यहाँ पे ऑब्वियसली फॉस्फेट होगा. यहाँ पे जो है सॉरी OH होगा, OH होगा, ओके, यहाँ पे होगा हमारा OH, और ये 5 प्राइम एंड है, तो 5th कार्बन के ऊपर क्या प्रेजेंट होगा, शुगर के फॉस्फेट प्रेजेंट होगा. नाउ इफ यू सी there are some bonds which are getting formed. We will just study the bonds of the DNA. Okay, एक तो होता है ग्लाइकोसाइडिक बॉन्ड, दूसरा होता है हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड, तीसरा होता है फॉस्फोडाइस्टर बॉन्ड. तो ये ग्लाइकोसाइडिक बॉन्ड कहाँ पे प्रेजेंट है? ओके, ग्लाइकोसाइडिक बॉन्ड इज प्रेजेंट बिटवीन द शुगर एंड द नाइट्रोजनस बेस. समझ में आ रही है मेरी बात? सो फर्स्ट कार्बन ऑफ द शुगर, you can see here, first carbon of the sugar is involved in forming a glycosidic bond and it bonds with the nitrogenous base. Okay, so this is the first bond that is present here. The second bond is a hydrogen bond. Hydrogen bond is present between the base pairs. Adenine is base pairing with the thymine of the another strand. उन दोनों के बीच में जो बॉन्ड प्रेजेंट है दैट इज अ हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड. व्हाट इज अ फॉस्फोडाइस्टर बॉन्ड? ओके, यू कैन सी हियर देयर इज वन फॉस्फेट दैट इज प्रेजेंट. ओके, ऊपर वाला जो शुगर है, द शुगर दैट इज प्रेजेंट ऑन द अपर साइड एंड देयर इज वन शुगर दैट इज प्रेजेंट ऑन द लोअर साइड. ओके, ऑन द अपर साइड द फॉस्फेट, okay, is making a bond. This is bond is called as a ester bond with the third carbon of the pentose sugar, and on the another side it is making one more ester bond with the 5th carbon of the second sugar. समझ में आ रही है बात? थर्ड कार्बन के साथ और 5वें कार्बन के साथ 2 ईस्टर बॉन्ड्स का फॉर्मेशन हो रहा है. दैट्स व्हाई दिस बॉन्ड इज कॉल्ड एज अ फॉस्फोडाइस्टर बॉन्ड. समझ में आ गई बात? तो एक तो बॉन्ड है हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड जो 2 न्यूक्लियोटाइड्स के बीच में प्रेजेंट है, नाइट्रोजनस बीच में प्रेजेंट है. दूसरा बॉन्ड है ग्लाइकोसाइडिक बॉन्ड विच इज प्रेजेंट बिटवीन कार्बन नंबर 1 ऑफ द पेंटोज शुगर एंड द नाइट्रोजनस बेस. तीसरा वाला जो बॉन्ड है दैट इज अ फॉस्फोडाइस्टर बॉन्ड दैट इज formed by the phosphate. Okay, on one side it is making a bond with the 3 carbon of the first sugar, and on the other hand it is making one more ester bond with the 5th carbon of the second sugar. So this is called as a phosphodiester bond, as there are 2 ester bonds that are getting formed. So this is about the bond formations. Let us see now the other parts that are present in the DNA model. Okay, now the diameter, if you see, the diameter of this complete DNA helix is 2 nanometer. Okay, what is the diameter? It is 2 nanometer. Okay, is the diameter of the DNA helix. Now there are 2 grooves that are present in the DNA helix. One is called as a major groove and the another is called as a minor groove. Okay, you can see here this part, from this part up till this part, this whole groove is called as a major groove, and this one is a small region, this is called as a minor groove. Okay, so there is one major groove and there is one minor groove. Now when the DNA is coiling and takes a complete 360-degree turn, okay, this complete coil which is present here, it is around 3.4 nanometers. Okay, उसका लेंथ क्या है? It is around 3.4 nanometers. Okay, so this is one complete 360 round, and in this 3.4 nanometers how many base pairs are present? There are total 10 base pairs that are present. समझ में आ रही है बात? एक जो टर्न है, कंप्लीट टर्न ऑफ द डीएनए, इट इज 3.4 नैनोमीटर्स, एंड हाउ मेनी बेस पेयर्स आर प्रेजेंट? 10 base pairs are present. Now what is the distance between the 2 adjacent nucleotides in the DNA strand? इस एडेनिन और इस ग्वानिन के बीच का डिस्टेंस कितना है? इट इज 0.34 एंगस्ट्रॉम, सॉरी इट इज 0.34 nanometers. It is the distance between the two consecutive or adjacent nucleotides in the DNA model. So this is all about the Watson and Crick double helix model. This double helix model shows that DNA has two strands which are helically wound around one another, and this helical wounding or this uh, wounding is because of the hydrogen bonds that are present. The backbone is made up of sugar phosphate backbone. It shows polarity. If one strand is 5 prime to 3 prime, the another strand is going to be 3 prime to 5 prime, so they're anti-parallel to one another. And the next one is that here, okay, there is one major groove and there is one minor groove that is present. The diameter of the DNA helix is 2 nanometer. Okay, then a complete round is around 3.4 nanometers. And how many base pairs are present? 10 base pairs are present, and the distance between two adjacent nucleotide is 0.34 nanometers. Okay, so this is all about the Watson and Crick double helix model. We have also seen the bonds that are present over here in the DNA double helix and the hydrogen bonds that are present. See here in this diagram, the hydrogen bonds that are getting formed, they looks like the stairs. Okay, here you can see, if this is, जिसको हम लोग हिंदी में सीढ़ी बोलते हैं, ओके, चढ़ने के लिए हम लोग जो यूज़ करते हैं, तो चढ़ने के लिए सीढ़ी के जहाँ पे हम लोग स्टेप्स रखते हैं, जो स्टेयर्स होते हैं, ऐसे हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड्स दिखाई देते हैं, और साइड में जो प्रेजेंट होता है दैट इज द फॉस्फेट एंड द शुगर बैकबोन दैट इज प्रेजेंट. So this is about the Watson and Crick double helical model. In the next video lecture, we will start with the point of replication of DNA. Okay, and before the replication of DNA, we will also discuss one more experiment that is called as Michelson and Stahel's experiment. So I hope we are clear about the structure of a DNA. We have studied about the nucleotides of a DNA. What is a nucleotide? Nucleotide में कितने parts होते हैं? Phosphate होता है, sugar होता है, nitrogenous base होते हैं. Nitrogenous base जो है वो purines और pyrimidines में होते हैं, और DNA में जो है वो डबल स्टैंडर्ड स्ट्रक्चर होता है. एक स्ट्रैंड की पोलैरिटी 5 प्राइम टू 3 प्राइम होती है. 5 प्राइम जहाँ पे भी है वहाँ पे फॉस्फेट होता है, 3 प्राइम जहाँ पे भी है वहाँ पे फ्री एंड OH ग्रुप होता है. ओके, हम लोगों ने बॉन्ड सीखे, हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड्स, ग्लाइकोसाइडिक बॉन्ड्स एंड द फॉस्फोडाइस्टर बॉन्ड. ओके, एंड वी ऑल्सो स्टडीड अबाउट how these bonds are formed and how the DNA is arranged. What is the diameter of the DNA double helix? It is 2 nanometer. Okay, one turn of the DNA double helix contains 10 base pairs. It is 3.4 nanometers, and the distance between two nucleotides is 0.34 nanometers. So with this point we will stop this lecture. In tomorrow's lecture we will start with Michelson's and Stahel's experiment, and then we will discuss about DNA replication, and if the time permits we will also discuss about DNA transcription, by which the mRNA is formed. So thank you very much for attending the class, and if you have any queries or doubts, please ask me. For your convenience, I will upload the same video lecture on my YouTube channel. Again, if you want to revise, you can see the same video lecture on my channel. Thank you very much.